the Big Breakfast Show with SJ every Monday, 7 till 10 on Bristol Love Radio. This morning I'm joined by an amazing, talented musicians and artists here in Bristol. We've got an amazing event which is launching on the 31st of May. So I think it is better that we get them to introduce themselves. Good morning.
Good morning, my name's Harry. My name is Dariusz.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me on the Bristol Love Radio Breakfast Show. And tell us a bit about yourselves. You've got an amazing event which is on the 31st of May. So it's definitely gives us enough time to get that date in the diary. And it's all about music. So Harry, tell us a bit more about the event.
So the event's been around really since 2019. It started off as a youth event in Brighton where I used sort of my skills of mentoring and my connections within local colleges to build up an event where we can sort of showcase young people and things like that, so we could get them out of the bad situations that they was in on the streets and give them some opportunities where they could actually start prospering in their life. We ended up leaving Brighton within a year and a half of launching there, but we launched here in Bristol in November, and from there we've just been growing really, working with a lot more upcoming artists and just overseas starting to have connections with artists who want to be a part of our platform, who want to be in our showcase events, who want to be in our battle events. So we're just slowly getting to grips with all of the different artists that we could possibly put on and supporting them in the best of ways.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because the music scene in Bristol, I mean, we've got artists from all over, haven't we? We've got people leaving their cities that they've grown and sort of experienced life in to come to Bristol. What makes Bristol so special, and the music scene particularly?
I think what makes Bristol special is it naturally has that sort of element of sound culture within its roots of history, you know, especially in the early 90s and the 2000s you had the rise of the illegal raves, and obviously, you know, that it could be a bit of a controversial subject, but within the roots of getting people into a place where there's music and having that beautiful experience, it's always been quite deeply rooted within Bristol. But obviously being a hip-hop organisation and offering things we do, we have noticed that as much as there are organisations out there that are helping artists that are doing this, there aren't as many that are offering as much as we're trying to offer and as much as that we're actually offering in terms of mentoring, in terms of getting sets, in terms of getting a bit more established, promotions, also working one-to-one with particular artists as well. There's not a lot of organisations out there, and I just think with a bit more support and a bit more love there in the community, a lot more could be achieved rather than it's a competition about who's getting the most views and who's got the most money. It's actually about who's got the talent and who's sort of bringing the bars or the music that's sort of changing the scene or changing how people feel and think about things.
Really interesting kind of perspective and views, because it's quite a lonely industry as well, isn't it? Because a lot of people think that you might be quite kind of extrovert, you've got people around you, but people don't realise, because it also connects and ties in with Mental Health Awareness Week as well, which has been highlighted very much so, and we talk about that a lot more. How important is it for artists to feel sort of that they are understood and mental health and connection there? How important is that for artists?
I'd say that's very important. I think, you know, I think all art in general, I think, is a very expressionate, you know, form of anything. You know, whether you make music, whether you draw, whether you make animations, you know, it's expression within a form of art. And I think, you know, with a lot of music and a lot of styles of music out there today, a lot of it is sort of outplaying the artist's mental health, how they're feeling, situations that they've gone through. And I think with a bit more support to the upcoming artists, you know, you won't just have a new selection of music that sounds sometimes better than some of the mainstream stuff, but then on top of that, we're also having this big community where people can actually grow and people can actually have an opportunity. It doesn't matter where you're from, you know, what you come from, who you are, what your nationality is. It doesn't matter about any of that. It just strictly comes down to if you've got talent or not, and if you've got what it in you to take, you know, hold of your future and your career and start doing something with your life.
Absolutely amazing. Really looking forward to the 31st. What can we expect on the 31st, by the way?
Well, on the 31st it's going to be our big event. So there's going to be a lot of things going down. There's going to be obviously 3 rap battles. as you know, yeah, we've got artists coming from all over, so yeah, expect big things to happen.
And what time does it all kick off?
It all kicks off at 8 o'clock on the 31st of May at a CIC venue called the Cloak and Dagger. Really, really lovely venue. We've worked with them now since November, and they're just brilliant overall. They've done a lot of great things for the community, and we've been very lucky enough to be a part of their little community and sort of establish our roots within Bristol, really, because of the Cloak and Dagger. So, like I said, tickets are on Headfirst and everything like that also, so I wouldn't want to miss this if I was you, but it is our last one at Cloak and Dagger, unfortunately, just due to some certain situations, but yeah, it's all live and ready to go.
Amazing, so head down. So any sort of last words of inspiration to our listeners as well, or anyone that's sort of quite interested about getting involved with the future?
I'd definitely say if there's any inspiring artists out there or upcoming artists and you're interested in music but you're scared to take the leap of faith, I urge all of you to take the leap of faith. You know, like, it doesn't matter sometimes what you go through in life, or it doesn't matter sometimes what you're from. You know, you always have the decision and the betterness to move on and create great things for yourself. So I think in just simple is just follow your dreams, because ultimately, like, you may be surprised one day when they actually become a reality.
Wow, but honestly, on that note, I've got a coffee next to me, so I'm going to indulge in that. Thank you guys for joining me. It's very, very kind of you to be up and early, because I know artists love their sleep. Thanks for joining me on the breakfast show on Crystal Love Radio. And I'm SJ, and thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much. Cheers.